Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com, and today I will be sharing with you the nursing room reveal from my church. Alright, so we have a young church, a lot of young families, young babies and mamas, and I've always believed that a nursing room should actually be an extension of the sanctuary, because this is their experience for, a good year of their life with every baby. And so being able to really exhale and have privacy, but also feel like they can actually hear the word and really calm themselves and be involved in worship is really, really important. So I pulled out all the stops for this room and went very high end, very upscale with what we were gonna do in there. And so I wanna take you along with some of the details that went into it, and then at the end I'll show you the reveal. First of all, and this goes with any room you're working on, you want to assess the architecture of the space. So just erase everything else going on in there and really hone in on all the good and all the bad in the space. So for this room, it's like a 26 by 10 foot room. So very long, very narrow. Basically, I'm dealing with an RV is what it felt like. So right off the bat, I knew I wanted to make the room feel a little bit more square. So I wanted the two end walls to act like accent walls and to be just matte black. And then there's a long wall that has a TV on it, and I wanted to get some horizontal lines going up to kind of push it out a little bit. But I didn't want to do something like board and batten or stripes or something. So I ended up picking out a wallpaper from Milton & King, which is out of London, and I wanted a white brick. So also it kind of gives us this loft apartment. Actually, in the end, I told people, I was like, it feels like a speakeasy room, like this secret room in the church somewhere that's you didn't even know is back there. So that's the shell of the room. We also ripped out there was just that cheapo rubber baseboard. So we ripped that out, put in some MDF, like a 5-inch MDF, painted it all. I ended up using a beautiful white, soft white called Snowbound by Sherwin-Williams, and then the end walls are my favorite black from Sherwin-Williams, which is Tricorn black. My favorite thing about the room was actually that it used to be 2 rooms, 2 offices, and they knocked a wall out, which left me a beam. So just a little touch of architecture, right? I'll take it. And then there's a little side wall that was left as well from the dividing wall, which gave me 2 more corners to work with. So this sort of tripod style floor lamp, which had already been donated to the church, was one of the only 2 things that I kept. I kept the 2 lamps that someone had bought. Oh, and there was a clock too. And so I kept those things and worked those in, and they were great for mid-century modern. And then that gave me a little corner to stick that floor lamp in, where if there was maybe a little toddler in there, the lamp was more protected. Then on the other side of that wall, I used it sort of as a privacy corner. So I did some interviewing of the moms and found out what it is that they wanted. And they wanted a space for rocking, because the babies have different needs, right? So they wanted a rocking chair. They wanted a space where they could kind of socialize if they wanted. And they wanted also a privacy area for the mom that wanted, I don't know, she just needed more space. Maybe the baby needed more space. So I used that second corner on the other side of the dividing wall as my privacy corner. Then I threw in a beautiful changing table area and a wall with a really low chalkboard and a couple of toys for the random sibling that was struggling that needed to go in with mom. I didn't want to have 20 kids in there, but yeah, if you needed to bring your other child in there, no big deal. So, and then the last big thing was they wanted Bluetooth headsets just so they could control the volume of the sermon, and that way it wouldn't bother a baby that was sleeping, or I don't know, it's just different, everybody in there with different needs. So we got that all figured out. So I really did a play-by-play in my Instagram stories and filled up a highlight. Actually, it's so full that it stopped accepting any more of my videos. So I need to go in there, clear some out, and update it just so you can see the end reveal as well. So I'll do that on my Instagram. But if you were following along, you already know some of this. So once you figure out the architecture of a space and you decide what you're going to enhance and what you need to tone down, then you're ready to start on furniture placement. And so I use Ballard Designs Floor Planner, which is free. And I mapped, you like put in the measurements of your rugs and furniture and everything, and then you can get a good floor plan and show where the doors and windows are and all that. So I factored all of these things into my floor plan. Then once I had my floor plan figured out, I went ahead and did mood boards, which I actually have a video on how to make your own mood boards from Canva. And they are just invaluable to me as I'm working on a space. So it's awesome. Like I've got like 4 lamps that I'm thinking about, and I just screenshot them, and you do this little trick where you erase the background, and I just drop each of the lamps onto my mood board, and I can figure out which one I want instead of having to guess or like bring them all to the church. Now I did a lot of returning. I looked through at least 150,000 items for this room, and then it settled on, 75 for the space. But the amount of couches and lamps and pictures and plants and pillows and all that, I spent a lot of time guessing at what I would like and then putting it on the board and narrowing down what I was going to actually buy. So once you get to the mood board, or the wall elevations is what they are, once you get to that point, you just work them over and over and over again. Try different rugs, try different chairs, until you find what you feel like is going to work. So as we went along, then I order things, they come in, and you'll remember this from the previous video. Everything that comes in has to pass some tests. It has to be the correct size. That's like my most common mistake, is my mood board is like a little bit off and then the scale's off. You gotta get your scale right. It has to be the right size item in real life. It has to be the right color. I am crazy about undertones being correct and not clashing. So if that means I have to repaint something, I will. Like the leather ottoman, I got 9 different ones in. The leather poof, the Moroccan style thing. And I could not get the right pinky tone that I wanted for the fabric I was using on the settee. So I had my daughter hand paint it with Angelus leather paint, which I adore, but it still took a long time. It took her like 8 hours, but we got the perfect color. And then I had to, of course, buy like 6 different paints and then mix them to make a custom color. So that kind of stuff is going on. I ordered this toy cart from IKEA, which is darling, but it's not the correct green. The wheels are not correct. The little pulls on it were not the correct green. So of course I had to spray paint those pieces. And then I didn't like the wood. I felt like it was too raw, like so matte that I felt like it was just gonna get so dirty. So I clear coated that 3 times, sanded it down, all that. And I special ordered cording that was that correct soft green that's in our church. So the whole piece took a lot of time, but I love it. The biggest project by far though was the settee. So I had one on my mood board that I liked, and it was like $800. And I thought, I'll just find one off Craigslist, right? So you gotta factor in like how many hours you're spending on Craigslist though, or Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. Those are the 3 that I had. And I had like every hour I would get a notification, oh, what was coming in with the settees and love seats and things. And I did find one. I paid $175 for it on Craigslist. And I thought, no big deal, for that price, like I'll just have it recovered. Well, if you remember, like there are no upholsterers available in Washington State because of COVID. They're so backed up, like 6 months backed up, and they're like, well, we'll do it for you, but it's $2,000. Well, that totally blew my budget. So I just said, okay, fine, I'll do it myself. So I ordered the fabric for like 55 bucks off fabric.com, and I got a bunch of samples in and all that. So I loved the color that I picked. It was like the perfect blushy, salmon-y terracotta color that was in the rug as well. So love that. And then of course matched the leather poof. And I got this fabric in and I started to dismantle the settee. Now I have had enough upholstery training to get myself into trouble. That's basically it. So I took a class in design school, but I'm not an upholsterer. I don't actually enjoy it. It's a ton of work. I just step by step kept unraveling this thing. I would take videos and show how it was done, and I love the double welting on it. I've never worked with that before. I've never had to make my own. That was really fun to learn. And then I wanted the channels when I say channels, it's like that quilted, like striped backing, which is very mid-century modern. I liked that it was on there, but I wanted them to be like twice as wide. So the fact that I was redoing it, I was like, I added a bunch of batting into it so they were thicker, and then I stitched them so that they would be twice as wide as the original look, the channel tufting. So I love that, I was happy with that. But all in all, that thing took me 21 hours. So if I did it again, I could probably do it in 15. But it's done. It was a huge job, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Okay, so another big like hold up I had was this gold end table from Project 62. I got it at Target, and I really liked it, but it had this like black glaze on it that was not working. I wanted this soft champagne gold, and I'm a real stickler with my metals as well. So actually it was one of my Instagram readers. She was like, hey, I clean houses for a living, and this is what you need to do. You need to take copper cleaning lotiony stuff and scrub it off. So I did it, and it took me 9 hours. I completely stripped off that black stuff, but I got that soft champagne gold that I was going for, so I was happy about that. So this is just to tell you that, like, when you're doing custom work, you got to be a stickler on your metals and on your undertones and the quality and all that. So it's worth it. You get the beautiful end look when you are committed to that kind of quality all the way through. I made the curtains. I got them off Amazon, beautiful green velour. And I went through like 5 sets of curtains and ended up deciding to make pinch pleat curtains, which are so yummy. And you sew on this tape on the back, and then you like put these special hooks in it, and it makes these permanent little pleats, and it's very tailored and very finished and lovely. So I did those. I made some pillows. I like custom made like 15 things in the room. And then now I wanted, like, when the door opened, I wanted it to open straight into like a welcome area, right? So as the door opened, I got this console. It's a Hearth and Hand console from Target, and it has the caning, and the little doors open, and then there's the Bluetooth headsets in there. And then I have like snacks and water and a little welcome sign and stuff. And I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a high-end look. So we ended up painting it black. There was a miscommunication about which black to use with the church, and so we ended up having to repaint it. So it was like a 4-coat project, but we got it. I love it. And then we took that same paint and we took a belly basket. I don't know if you've seen these, but they have them on Amazon for $25. They have the same baskets at IKEA for $10. So I bought the IKEA one, and I wanted the bottom half of this belly basket to be black. I like that look. So I took that same black paint. My daughter actually painted it for me. And then I just hot glued some little pom-pom trim on it to make it a little bit more custom. And that's the laundry basket for just, I don't know if the changing table pad needs to be washed or the boppy pillows. I bought extra covers for all that. And so it's not like they're gonna not have covers on their stuff while I'm washing what needs to be washed. My biggest regret for this room is actually the changing table. So I looked at a lot of dressers, and you know, mid-century modern is just still really booming. And so high boys are too tall and low boys are too low for a changing table. So I gave up on that. The other thing is that the good furniture out there is like really nice wood, like walnut and stuff. So I didn't have the heart to paint it, and I wanted it to match my Christopher Knight couch that I bought. It's just off Amazon, but cute couch, like really good detailing and character. So I ended up just getting like it's $100 dresser from IKEA, the Kullen, Kullen dresser. As I was putting it together, I was like, wow, this is the cheapest dresser I've ever seen. Like, particle board and paper. I was kind of embarrassed. But I mean, yeah, it was $100, but then I put like $100 into legs. So we got the splayed legs to lift it up, because I needed to be like 8 more inches high for the babies. And then I put, like, it's child-proofed. I put these really nice expensive poles on it. The paint was really nice paint. Oh, and then the basket was like $120. So the whole thing did add up to several $100s, but oh my gosh, that thing I feel like is gonna fall apart. So that stressed me out a little bit. And then I wanted the lion to be like Lion of Judah, or like Aslan, kind of over the basket, like protecting the baby. So it was kind of symbolic, right? But then some people thought that the lion might be scary. So we have glasses on the lion, because as you know, you can trust all animals wearing glasses, right? So we'll see how that goes. And then the last part was really the little play area. So I told you about the IKEA cart, and then I got these super cute, I think they're called Father Goose, really cute, detailed, like vintage looking wooden blocks, raw wood. And then I found the abacus at a garage sale, which I was gonna use for my playroom, and then I was like, it'll be good there. So got that cleaned up, and that's sitting there. And then I took a projector, and there's this one font that our church uses, so I took a projector and I shown it on our chalkboard there. And if you write on a chalkboard, you want it really bright white and really clean, you want to dip your chalk into water and then draw, and then keep dipping it, like, and even like snap it off so you have a really sharp edge. And so I wrote Happy Mother's Day 2021, and then the light over it is the magic light trick, so it's not hardwired. You just get any wall sconce, and then you put a puck inside of it, and there's this one puck that you want to use, and then you just like tap that and it turns on, it's battery operated. So that's a fun trick to use to kind of like highlight art or something. Brooke from Nesting with Grace is the one that like she did it, and it just went nuts on Pinterest, and it's like viral, and she's famous for it. But yeah, that's called the magic light trick. And then last of all, I put a little magnetic sign on the door that said like occupied or vacant. So yeah, we revealed on Sunday. I think people really liked it. I got a lot of great feedback, and I'm excited to see what the next few years hold for the mamas. One thing I didn't think we were gonna get on the day that we set up, so we installed on Friday and then finished on Saturday. I had ordered wallpaper and I even had a sample and everything, and I thought it was gonna be really good. And then when I got the rolls in, it looked really gray and kind of fuzzy, like not real. And I'm like, no, I love Milton and King because their wallpaper is usually, I don't know why this one was fuzzy, but usually it's like photograph. It's a photograph. So it's super realistic looking. So at the last minute, well, like maybe 10 days before we installed, I switched and I'm like, no, I'm getting the Clubhouse white brick. So I reordered the wallpaper and was sure like we would get it in time. It always comes in like 4 or 5 days. No, it got stuck in LA, which is not that far from me. Like I had these crazy thoughts of I'm just getting on a plane and I'm going to LA and I'm getting that wallpaper. Oh, I called the company. I was like, can you ship it from Austin? It was this huge thing. I was on the phone for several hours trying to get a hold of this wallpaper. And finally I'm like, look, it's just not gonna make it. We'll do it after we reveal, we'll put the wall in. And I just kept like checking it several times a day, like have they released it out of the facility to get up to Seattle? And nope. Well, Friday we load up everything, we head to the church, we're all set up, like the little team's there, unpacked. It's like 12:20, I get a text and they said, hey, we're delivering a package for you, we're gonna leave it by the gate. It was our stinking wallpaper, we made it. And so I called my daughter, when the church is like almost 30 minutes away, and so I called my daughter, I said, bring it over. So that took like the rest of the day to put up, but I'm glad we got it done. And that was a little drama. That there's just always something like that, you just never know what's gonna be the problem child. And it was our wallpaper on the settee for sure, but we got it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys got some really good ideas for your own church if you guys are working on your nursing room in your church. And I've already heard from a lot of people that they are redoing their nursing room because we did ours, and even like mentorship programs where older women are like, I'm just gonna hang out with the younger moms and get to know them, and this is a great room to start in. So I love that. I love it. That's so exciting. So grab your video on making your own mood boards if you want to do that. And thanks for following along. This is a big project. I don't normally take full custom design work like this, but I wanted to do it for the church and take you guys along too. So, all right, you guys, if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that I can send you more videos and make your interior design easy. Take care. I'll talk to you next week.